that thing.
Yes, ma. You
Tell
said
me,
you didn't hear me the other time. I don't know if you can hear me now.
okay, I can hear you now. I can hear you
Yes.
now.
Okay, thank you. So I was saying I'm looking forward to getting a kind of working pattern, like workable
Okay.
template that I can use, because yes, of course we have goals. I have goals. I have things I want to achieve before the year runs out, and next year I want to kickstart some new projects. But then I need a kind of working template that I can follow.
Mm,
That's uh, look out for
okay.
today. That's
Okay. Okay. So these are all awesome, awesome feedbacks. Okay, one more person. Let's do Shukura. Shukura, go ahead.
All right, thank you, Ma. For me, how do I stay accountable? Because for me now, it's just me trying to run a business and
Mm,
setting. How do I make myself accountable to those things I've decided to do?
yeah, that actually is very important. Okay. All right. So I've heard everybody's expectation, what we are looking at learning at the end of the day. Okay, can you guys hear me?
You
Yes, ma.
Yes,
were
we can hear
okay.
you.
So that means people were not hearing what I said. I said
Yeah.
when it comes to goals, one thing I've observed about everything each person has said this morning is we all have an idea of what goals mean, what it means to set goals. We have an idea, right? However, at the same time, all of us seem to have the challenge of achieving those goals, bringing those goals to life, right? Am I correct? If I'm correct, just respond.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
okay. So tell me, you guys, let's define it together. Tell me, what does goal setting mean to you? What does goal setting mean to you? I'm listening. Yes. Let me see. Nasir, please define goal for us.
Okay. I think goals are a set of identified desire that
Mm,
that one needs to achieve.
yeah.
Yes. Thank you. That's it.
Okay. Okay. You said goals are a desire that one needs to achieve, right?
Identified the ones that are
Okay.
identified desires that one needs to achieve. Yes.
Identify desires. Okay, thank you.
Thank
Ayinla, please define goals for us.
To me, goals are like a desirable task
Mm,
that one sets as an achievement to be measured at the end of an activity.
mm, okay. Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one. Must should. Is it must should? Let me see. Dorcas, go ahead.
Hi, good morning, Ma.
Good morning.
So to me, goals are
Hello.
like
Okay.
okay, I think we have two doctors here. So Ma, which one
No,
are
no,
you?
go ahead. Continue speaking. When you are done, the next person will
Okay,
speak. Don't worry.
okay. So I feel goals are like action to me, they're like action plan
Mm,
of what
mhm.
you want to do in should I say in hierarchy or from ascending to like lowest. Okay, I want to do this first,
Okay.
I want to do this next. So I feel that like action plans on things you want to achieve, or yes, on an hierarchy level, or yeah.
Okay, that's fine. That definition works as well. Moshood, please.
Okay. In short sentence, goals are what you tend to, the target you tend to meet up with a particular time frame. So that's the goal.
Okay, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful take. The second Dorcas.
Good morning.
Where is she?
So it's more
Yes.
like having a clear objective of what you want to do. Yeah.
Okay, having a clear objective of what you want to do and ensuring you get it done. Abi? Okay, Imole, go ahead, please.
Okay, goals are the end expectation that someone intends to work towards. So it's more like this in mind, I have this in view, and I want to get to do this thing. So I'm going to
I
work
want to
towards
make it
that. Yeah, that end is more like the goal.
Okay. So these are all beautiful takes, to be honest, right? So let me put together everything everyone has said. Goal setting, right, basically involves developing a plan, an actionable plan, right, that will motivate you towards achieving a target or towards achieving a desired result. So we can say goal setting basically is developing an actionable plan, right, that will motivate you into achieving a particular desire or a desired result. Okay? Am I making any sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma, you are.
Yes, you are.
Again, okay, you see, globally, when it comes to the issue of setting goals, it can be very, very tricky. A lot of things come into play, right? Because we tend to have this overwhelmingly crazy idea. We have this far-reaching idea, right? And we are like, okay, from where I am right now, that idea I have, I want it to come to pass now, now, now. And that's where a lot of us begin to struggle in terms of setting actual actionable goals. The reason being that a lot of factors come into play when you're talking about goal setting. Okay? A lot of factors come into play when you're talking about goal setting. But the first one I'm going to mention that is the pillar of goal setting is vision. Did you guys hear me? Hope we're going to be taking notes. So,
Yes, we can hear you, ma.
the first thing I'm going to mention as the pillar for goal setting, the first thing you need to understand at the back of your mind before you can achieve goals is vision. I'm going to explain that. What is vision? Vision is basically destination. All right? Vision is destination. However, goals are those things that happen along the way before you get to your destination. Let's say, for example, I want to travel from Abuja to Lagos. So my vision is to get to Lagos. However, when I get to Lagos, I want to go and collect money from Central Bank. That's my goal. Okay, that's the desired result I want. However, my vision is to leave Abuja and get to Lagos. But leaving Abuja to get to Lagos, there are so many ways. I can decide to fly. I can use what they call it, aeroplane. I can take private jet. I can enter bus. I can enter Korokpe. Even the bus, there are different types. You can either enter luxurious bus or you enter 12-seater or you enter Hayat. I what's the name of that other bus. I can decide to ride bicycle from Abuja to Lagos. I can decide I want to trek. People remember all those people that used to trek when somebody becomes president in Nigeria, abi? I can decide I want to trek from Abuja to get to Lagos. However, I would factor in my mind that as I'm on my way to Lagos, there could be traffic on the road. The driver might need to go and take another route. The vehicle might break down. That means all of us will need to come down, wait for 2 hours for them to fix it. Or we come down and enter another vehicle. Right? I might also need to consider that, okay, maybe I need to, by the time I get to, let's say, Edo State, now remember that I have a family friend that I want to go and quickly collect something from. I come down from the vehicle and go and buy or go and collect the things I need to collect. Does that mean I'm not still going to get to Lagos?
No.
I'm still going to get to Lagos, right? But you see, those little things that will happen along the way that will eventually lead up to that destination, those things make up goals. But one of the things we don't do fairly to ourselves is we think we are magicians. Sometimes, in fact, that's why they say
MTN number you have dialed is currently switched off.
which person's MTN number is switched off? Okay. Please mute your mic so that when you want to speak, you can unmute, okay? Oh, wow. I've missed my talking point.
We are talking about some those that are going
I
from
think we are
Lagos to
magicians.
Abuja.
Yes,
We
good.
said that does not stop us from getting to our destination. That most times we
Exactly.
think we are magicians.
Exactly. So
Yes.
sometimes we put so much pressure on ourselves,
Yes.
forgetting the other little components that will actually give us results. We ignore it. We just look at the big wins. If you ask somebody now, if you ask a random person that is maybe just hustling, you ask them, what do you want? Where do you see yourself in 2 years? In 2 years, I want to become Dangote. Did it take Dangote 2 years to become Dangote? I'm asking. Did it take Dangote 2 years to become Dangote?
No.
Or did it
No,
take
ma.
Otedola? Did it take Otedola 2 years to become Otedola? No. We must first of all work on our mind. I told you guys yesterday that your mindset is the major thing, and that's just the truth. It works across board. Somebody will say, you are just starting business, or you have not even started. Your plan is to start business next week. And you're saying, within the next 3 weeks, I want to sell out 50,000 cartons. You're not being realistic. You're not being honest with yourself. And in so doing, you will not put yourself under pressure, especially if you mistakenly go on Instagram and go and look at all those people that are doing sold out, that will send their videos, that will do do content. You'll be wondering that, what am I doing with my life? And before you know, you will be distracted from your actionable plan. Why? Because your mind has been taken away from the actual thing you need to do. You are now clouded with emotion. Okay, your mind is now wow, this they work. Nigeria don't scatter. This one, I don't have this one. Emotions begin to play in your head. That in itself will hamper you from achieving your goal. Look at Nigeria. Globally, we have what they call the SDGs, right? Has anybody heard of SDG before? Sustainable Development Goals. Who has heard of it? Just wave your hand.
Yes.
Good. Now, before the SDG, right, there was what they call MDG, that's Millennium Development Goals. The MDGs, they were about, is it 5 or 6? No. They were not up to 8. They were not up to 8. We did not finish achieving the MDGs, though. We now traveled to SDGs. So when we traveled to SDGs, those 8 components of the MDGs, we made it 17. Then those 17, we now put targets, 302 targets. Please tell me how we intend to achieve them. Most of us on these calls, we don't even have any idea the SDG that our business type is linked to. And these are some of the things that all these organizations that are doing grants, doing competition, those are the things they pay attention to, especially if they are international organizations. They will be so amazed if you are able to link your business to a particular goal. That's a particular SDG goal. They'll be so happy. They'll be like, this person understands on a global level. Hope people are understanding what I'm saying.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm trying to lay this foundation. So
Yes,
first
ma'am.
of all, we need to know that when you want to set goals, you have to ensure you have a clear mindset. Your head should be clear. Don't be carried away. Even when you get carried away, bring yourself back on track. Remember this journey I'm talking of, this Abuja to Lagos. And I said, when I get to Edo State, I say, let me quickly go and visit a friend, or let me go and buy something from a friend. I have been distracted though. But the truth is, I need to still find a way that after 1 day, 2 days, let me go back on the journey and ensure I get to Lagos. Okay? It's not easy achieving goals, to be honest. But when you set smaller goals, it is more achievable. Smaller goals. You don't need to, for you to look good, you don't need to start by setting very big goals for you to look good. Like, this person knows what he's doing. No, you don't need to. Anybody that said you need to is just lying to you. Okay? That person is just lying to you. So let me start by talking about the different types of goals. The different types of goals. We have the long-term goal, we have short-term, and we have medium-term goals. Short-term goal is anything you do from today, from day one to the next 1 year. That's short-term goal. So if you break down this 1 year, the things you need to do within 1 year, you will see that you would have achieved a lot. But because we're only looking at the 1 year, we'll pack all the things we're supposed to do in 1 year and we'll put it under 1 month. That's why it becomes difficult to achieve. Say, for example, you start a new business and you are thinking that as you have started the business, within the first 1 month or within the first 3 weeks, you would have done sold out. That's a lie. Business has gestation period. It has incubation period. You need to allow that business incubate for a bit. Are we together? Are we together?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes,
You need to
ma'am.
allow,
Yes,
Yes,
we are.
ma'am.
thank you. You need to allow, what they call it, your business, you need to allow it to incubate for a while. So realistically, before you start talking about actually making profit in a business, you have to look at the first 6 months first. So you see where the wahala comes in achieving some goals, because you have said that within the first 3 weeks or within the first 1 month, you have gathered 1,000 clients, you have supplied 50,000 people, which is not the truth. It's not something you have the capacity to do at that point, because it is a new business and a lot of things will happen along the way. What if in the process of trying to deliver goods or in the process of trying to do one thing or do the other thing is when you discover that delivery company is not working, or you give your property to all these bikes to go and help you deliver and they eat it along the way, or different things come up. But because you have put that pressure, you have pressed yourself with pillow, you have suffocated yourself with the idea of ensuring that I get it done the way I need to get it done immediately, you will now have a lot of difficulty retracing your step. So short-term goal is anything from day 1 to 1 year. Those goals you set within that period they are called short-term goals. While medium-term goals are anything from 3 to 5 years. 3 to 5 years, they're in the middle. 3 to 5 years. Okay? And of course, I remember, I don't know if I mentioned this to you guys yesterday. It depends on how you see your business. If you want your business to grow, it is entirely up to you. If you want your business to become whatever you want it to be, it is entirely up to you. But if you keep looking at your business that it's just a small business, after all, it's not just bread I'm selling, it's not just biscuits provision I'm selling, it will remain what it is. Okay, so there's medium term goals, and then the final one is long term. Anything from that 5 years to 10 years and above, those are long term goals. Now remember I mentioned something about vision. Okay, I said for you to understand your goals or for you to be able to achieve your goal, you need to identify what your vision is. So, what is the overall vision for that business? Where is this business going to? Where do you see your business in the next 5 to 10 years? What do you want to achieve at the end of the day? Just one thing, one. It can be 2 sentences, or it can be one line or one sentence. It just has to be something that seems like the end. Some of us watch football. So let's say for a lot of footballers, maybe their own goal is to win the Ballon d'Or, right? Their goal is to ensure that they win Ballon d'Or after playing ball for like 5 years. I don't know how often they do the Ballon d'Or competition, but their vision is to hold that Ballon d'Or cup. So that means they have a destination. When you have a destination, you will now begin to work your way back to the very beginning, to where you are now. So imagine me now, I'm a novice footballer, but I love football and I know how to play. And I've been seeing, what's the name of any of these footballers that have won Ballon d'Or recently? I'm talking
Rodri.
to
Rodri.
Rodri.
Yeah.
Okay, Rodri, Abi. So I now see Rodri holding Ballon d'Or cup. And immediately I saw, I'm like, no, this has to be me in the next 5 years. My vision is to hold that Ballon d'Or cup and use it to inspire many young people around the world. Good, I have a vision. However, from that vision, I need to work my way back to where I am today. Today, how many minutes can I run for? 4. How many times have I woken up around 4 a.m. to jog around the estate? How many small competitions have I attended? What are the little things I have done at this point? Where am I at now? It is when you realize or you identify where you are now that you'll be able to walk your way to that vision. Why I mentioned vision is you can't just have goals scattered everywhere. You can't. It needs to be aligning towards a particular thing, a particular destination. That way it is easier. Because you know that for me to eventually get here, I must stick to my plan. It is easier. Many of us want to be very rich. We want to be very wealthy. Now, but what kind of wealth do you want to have? Do you want to have the kind of wealth that you don't need to sleep in the night? Or you want to have the kind of wealth that comes with a lot of peace of mind? Do you want to have international standard of wealth? You need to ask yourself certain questions. You need to, when you have identified the vision, the end result, then work your way back to where you are now. From where you are, be realistic. What can I really do at this point for me to eventually gradually build up to get to the next point? Your target is not to just get to the end though, from where you are, is to get to the next point. So the football example I'm using. So for example, my goal is to carry Ballon d'Or cup, right? But right now, I cannot actually run for 30 minutes without fainting. So that means I need to ensure I exercise myself to the point where I can run for 2 hours and I will not faint. I won't be exhausted. I won't be tired. Okay, I have realized I need to build my strength in that area. So I set a small goal. My small goal will be every 4 a.m., 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. every morning, I'm going to run 30 minutes. I'll run 30 minutes, do 10 minutes break, 30 minutes, do 10 minutes break, 30 minutes, do 10 minutes break. You see that that's a very small goal that is achievable if I set my mind to it. I did not say the first day when I wake up the following morning, I will run from 6 o'clock from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. Me that I cannot run for 30 minutes without fainting. I will now say the following day, I will wake up in the morning and I will run from 4 to 6. You will die now. So I know I cannot run for 30 minutes without fainting. So I'll break it down. If I run small, I will rest. It will be included in my goal. My goal is to run small, run for 10 minutes, rest. Another 10 minutes, rest. Another 10 minutes, rest. You see that it looks small. It looks as if you are wasting time, but you are not. You are building up capacity. Are you guys with me? Hope I'm not talking to myself.
No, ma, we're with you.
Good.
We're with you.
So you see that those small goals, I
Yes,
am
thank
beginning
you.
to
I'm with
build
you, ma.
capacity in my legs. So after I finish building capacity in my legs, now I have finished For the next 2 weeks, I've been running every day, 30 minutes, 30 minutes. I'm not fainting. Then I'll now say, okay, the following week, I'm going to run for 2 hours. I'm going to try the first 2 hours without fainting, or I try the first 1 full hour without fainting. So I'll do 1 hour. I will rest for 20 minutes. Do another 1 hour. You see that the goal has been broken down in such a way that I can achieve it. I can achieve it at that point in time. But if I looked at it and say, okay, I want to win Ballon d'Or, I mean, I cannot run. Maybe what I will do is I will only be playing for 15 minutes on the field. But you see that 15 minutes, when I enter, everywhere should scatter. No, the goal is to become the most valuable player. That's what the vision is. For me to carry that cup, I have to be very valuable. That means I can't stay on the pitch for only 10 minutes. They need to see me. They need to know I have the energy. They need to know I can do this thing. So I must build up gradually. Okay? Are we together? Are we together?
Yes, ma.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
ma'am.
Okay, good. Okay,
Yeah,
good. Now, so we've talked about the types of goals, which we said, sorry, this is not the type of goals, it's the timeline for goals, which is short, medium, and long term. Now, if you want to talk about the type of goals, there are different types of goals, right? You can have financial goal, you can have social goal, you can have economic goal, you can have spiritual goals, you can have family goals. There are different types of goals. Hold on. I'm still with you
Please,
guys.
man, can you come again, man? Please, man, can you come? Okay.
Okay. So I was saying the first one I mentioned, initially I said under type of goals, we have long term, short term, medium term. I now corrected myself. Those ones are not types of goals. They are the timeline for goals. They are the timeline for goals. So now, under types of goals, we have different types. We have different types of goals. You can have financial goals. Okay, you can have financial goals. You can have what they call it, career goals. You can have spiritual goals. You can have family goals. You can have social goals. You can have personal development goals. In fact, you can have fitness goal, join self. For instance, you say, okay, I'm currently weighing 100 kg. In the next 3 months, I want to ensure that from that 100 kg, I go back to 80 kg. That means you need to lose 20 kg, right? That's what they call it, fitness goals. Okay, there are relationship goals. There's so many types of goals, to be honest. There are business goals. There are community goals. For instance, you can look within your community. Okay, my intention is to ensure that by the time I leave Lagos State, I have visited all the how many local governments are in Lagos, please?
20 local governments are in Lagos State, aside from the
30.
NCDA.
30.
20.
20. Oh, okay. I thought they were like 18. So, for instance, I can say my community goal could be I want to visit. It depends on my overall vision. Remember, everything you are doing needs to be tied to that overall vision, that destination. That vision determines all the small goals or all the individual goals you now begin to set. So, I can say maybe my overall goal is to become what they call it, a development expert that helps communities discover their strengths or discover their talents, something like that. So I can say my community goal will be to ensure that within the first 6 months, I visit the 20 local governments in Lagos. Then within those 20 local governments, I identify small communities within each local government, about 5. You understand? By the time you do 20 times 5, you people know how to do math. I think that's 100, right? I would have visited 100 communities. So you see that I can set community goals. You need to understand that there are different types of goals, but all your goals should be tied towards achieving your what? Your overall what? Let me see if you guys are following. All your little goals, all your different goals should be tied towards achieving
Overall vision.
your
Vision.
overall vision. Your overall vision. Okay, so your vision, for instance, my vision is to be. How many of you know Oprah Winfrey?
Yeah, we know.
Yes.
Yes, we do, ma.
Okay, good.
We
So
know how.
my vision for life, right, is to teach and to serve people. And one of the ways I believe that I can achieve that is to become like an Oprah. Not to become Oprah, but to become like an Oprah, right? However, I have to work myself back to where I am right now. I said to teach and to serve. That means I need to be doing it gradually. So I'll set my financial goal. To become an Oprah means you must have money. Oprah has money. Do you understand? You must have money. So my financial goal can now be that, okay, I need to raise money at the end of each year. I will set realistic amounts that I know that, okay, can come into my account. I can say, okay, every year by December, I should have, let's say in 2024, I'll say by December, I should have 6 million net in my account, not gross, 6 million net in my account, right? Then I'll say by 2025, these are medium term goals. By 2025 December, instead of me having another 6 million, I should be doing about 10 million by that time. Because if I must become an Oprah, I must have money. Okay. Now, these monies that I've listed here, how do I achieve it? That's where my financial goals come in. I begin to set smaller goals. Okay, that means I either need to get an international paying job. While doing that one, I need to do a lot of side gigs. Then I need to ensure that I have a lot of high paying contract jobs. So high paying contract jobs. So for instance, if you get a contract job and every month you are being paid 5 million naira, right? You get a proper contract job and every month they're paying you 5 million. If you do 5 million times 12, what do we get, please? Someone should run the math for me.
That's 60 million.
60 million, ma.
That's 60 million. Brethren, that's 60 million. But for me to be able to get an international high paying contract job, that means my personal development goals and my career goals must have been functioning already. Am I correct?
Yes, ma.
Yes, very
Yes,
correct.
ma.
Yes.
So please hope people are picturing what I'm saying as I'm saying it though. That means
Absolutely. Women.
that my
Yes, we are.
personal goal, my personal development goal must have been functioning. Then I can decide that under my personal development, I want to ensure that I do personal development training, maybe a leadership training or a public speaking training. I need to do like 2 in a year. And maybe each of them, the premium ones, will cost you. For instance, if you want to join John Maxwell Academy, it's 7 million naira. I don't even know how much it is now. That's a lot of money. Okay, somebody was mentioning Vusi yesterday. If you are going to join Vusi's private circle of mentees, you pay $250 every month. So you see that as when you're creating goals, if you have the main vision, every other thing will connect to each other. So you will begin to build them together, small, 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 small. A little drop of water is what they say makes an ocean. But if that small drop of water did not come, an ocean cannot be formed. So I can't go around and say, me, I want to become Oprah Winfrey. In the next 2 years, I'll be an Oprah Winfrey. How I want to do them? Do I have American visa? Who do I know in ABC that I want to become Oprah Winfrey? So it doesn't work that way, right? So I will set my financial goals, and in order to achieve my financial goals, my personal and my personal development and my career goals must be working hand in hand. And don't forget, I have a family. So that means my family goals, it can be simple. All these goals are mentioned in our one line. No, it's not. It doesn't have to be like 20. Some of us, if we want to set goals, we write 20 things. That's why we're not achieving them. That's why we're not achieving them. They're too much. It can be one thing. For instance, you can say, okay, for my family this year, I want to ensure that I spend every evening at least 2 hours talking to my children or having a conversation with my partner, as in an in-depth conversation. That's a goal. It looks like a small something, but it is not. Because if you achieve your vision and you lose out on your family, you lose out on your finances, you lose out on your relationships, your friends, you will feel very lonely at the top. You will know you have many people around you because you have money. But people that will really care about you, you know you will not find them around you. Okay? Are we still together? Are we still together?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
So by the
ma'am.
time you are setting your goals for next year, 2025, ensure that you break your goals down into the different types of goals you are looking at achieving. Maybe you know you're the kind of person you don't like me now. You don't have strength to keep relationships like that. But you know you need relationships to move your business forward. I can decide to set 2 simple relationship goals. Number 1, attend all networking events within my area. Number 2, ensure that I talk to and I collect numbers of minimum 10 people for each event. Is that one 10 people is easy, or you can start with 5 people if you are very, very shy. You see that I have set my relationship goal down. Then for business goals, I want to ensure that this year, 2025, I want to set a short-term goal. In this year, 2025, by December 2025, our customer base has to be about 200 returning customers. That's fine. You have written 200 as the returning customers at the end of 2025. Divide that 200 by 11 months in a year. How many do you get for each month? So that tells you that every month you need to get whether 10 people or you need to get 20 customers. Now, how do you get 20 customers? You break it down as well. You need to go into people's DMs, message them directly. So if you say you want to get 10 customers as retainers, that means those customers will keep buying from you. You need to ensure you reach minimum of 100 people for you to get 10. 10 is 10% of 100. So you need to ensure that each time you are calculating your numbers, if you want to achieve an overall number, divide it. The 10% of it is what you need to do small, small, small to achieve the overall one. So the trick is, if I say I want to have 200 retained customers by the end of 2025, then I divide that 200 by 11 months. I don't divide it by 12 months because January and December it's time for people to just relax, right? But from February, I begin to calculate from February down to, or I calculate from January down to November, that's 11 months. When I divide it and I get smaller number, let's say I get 10 businesses or 10 customers per month, that means I need to look for 100 customers. Inside 100, if my services are good enough, I should be able to get 10 people that will buy from me first. But the beautiful thing is, once 10 people buy from you, it is easier for them to refer another 10 persons each to you. So you will discover that before you get to the 6th month, you would have already achieved your goals. You would have. Hello, can you guys hear me? Sorry, I think I had an interruption.
No, we
Yes,
can hear you.
yes, we
Yes, we
can
can
hear
hear
you,
you.
ma'am.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay,
Yes, we
good.
can.
We can hear you.
So you will realize that by the time you get to the 6th month, you would have even achieved the 200 that you are looking at achieving by December. Because the first 2-3 months, you ensure that you targeted 100 people. And from the 100, you were able to get 10 or you're able to get 5. And you treated those 5 people like kings. 5 people will easily tell another 5 persons. That's 25 people. 25 people, if they are treated well, they get what they want, they will tell other 5 persons. Before you know, you have achieved your goal. But if you are looking at it that, I want to get 200 customers every month, it is an impossible task to do for a beginning business. You don't have a balance to hang on. Okay? You don't have a balance to hang on.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't forget, guys, we are still talking about the different types of
That's of
goals. We're
goals.
still talking about the different types of goals. This one I'm explaining now is business goals. And I'm sure most of us, what we look at is really the business goals. But we must ensure that as much as possible, we do it and we do it well. Don't be afraid to do it small, small. As you do small, you add another small on top. Sure, you know the number has increased, right? Then you do another small, you add another number on top. It has increased again. Don't look at it like, no, it's too small now. I can't just be doing 5. Why am I doing 5 businesses? Do 5 first and do 5 well. If you do 5 well, getting 10 will be easy. If you do 10 well, getting 15 will be easier. Are you understanding where I'm coming from?
Yes, ma'am.
All
Yes,
right.
ma'am.
So I'm going to give us a few minutes to ask questions at this point. Okay. I'm sure we have a general idea of what the different types of goals are. So I'm going to open the floor for questions. So if you have any questions at this point, you can actually go ahead and ask, and I will respond. Does anybody have any question?
Yes, ma'am. I have a question.
Yes.
Okay. Good afternoon, ma'am. I think I've
Yeah,
not
good
explained
afternoon.
presently. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, who is
The other
speaking?
time you were talking about
Wait, who is speaking?
this is Matthew.
Oh, yeah,
Matthew.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Matthew.
Okay. The other time you were talking about SDG.
Yes.
Okay. I personally I don't think I know anything about it at all. So what I'm trying to say is that just give me an elaborate explanation concerning what those things are.
Okay. 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 So it is important that each and every one of you on this call actually know what SDGs mean. It's actually important. Now, SDGs is what we call Sustainable Development Goals. They were goals designed by ECOWAS, different international bodies, including local bodies. All of us came together and designed certain goals that we want to achieve. I think it's in Africa and Europe over a period of time, from now till 2030, for example. Right? So we designed certain goals. Then for us to achieve those goals, we now broke them down small into smaller points. SDG has 17 goals on them. And each goal aligns to somebody or something you are doing currently. For instance, if your desire is to create job employment for somebody, or to create job employment for people, you're actually working on one of the goals, which is decent, what they call it, decent working, or be decent living.
That's
You're trying to
SDG 8.
SDG 8. Thank you very much. That's decent what?
Decent work
Decent
and
work
infrastructure.
and economic growth.
Thank you. Decent work and economic growth, actually. So that's what you're working towards. You're trying to ensure that you achieve that goal on your own, but you don't know that it is actually an SDG. So the idea is there are certain things Africa, together with some other international bodies, international organizations, we want to achieve collectively in our individual countries, because things apply to us differently, but we want to achieve them collectively. So by 2030, we want to look back and say, okay, these SDGs, what and what have we been able to do? As government, as the public sector, they will begin to create policies that will make achieving those goals easier and implementing those policies. All right. So SDGs basically, like I've explained, is a group of organizations, countries, both international, European countries, African countries, coming together to set certain goals that needs to be achieved to make each country better. All right, to take them from where they currently are to where they ought to be. Hope I was able to answer your question, Matthew. Then, so what you can also
Yes, ma'am.
do
Yes, ma'am.
is, yes. So after this class, I enjoin every one of you that don't have idea about this. Just go online, search for the SDGs. You'll see them 17. Then if you look well enough, they have targets, about 302 targets, I mean 320 targets under the goals. Find the one that your business aligns with, so that if you have an opportunity to pitch, or you have an opportunity to write a proposal to an international body or to a group that is giving out money, ensure you align it to a particular SDG. That way, they will take you seriously faster. They will not say you're a greedy person, you're only thinking of yourself. No, they will look beyond that. Okay. Is there any other question?
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am, I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
So my question is there any difference between vision and mission? Like, I want to really understand.
Yes, there's a difference, okay? Vision is destination, okay? Mission is how. Mission is how you want to get to that destination. So, for
Okay.
example, Yes. For example, I said my vision for life, right, is to teach and to serve people like an Oprah Winfrey. That's my vision for life, for example. So my mission will be using communication skills, using effective communication skills and modern technology to pass on adequate knowledge or adequate information or adequate data across to my target audience. That means how I want to achieve my overall goal. The small things I want to do, the technical things I want to do is my mission. So they are not the same, they are very different. Okay, it's just that one would help you achieve the other one. The strategy you use in achieving the overall. So mission and vision work hand in hand. If you have a vision and you don't have a mission, you most likely will not achieve the result you are looking at. Okay, you most likely will not achieve that result. So they work hand in hand, and it's very important to ensure you tally them together. Okay, so you can also, I wish we were having a physical class, so we would have done an example of writing missions, although I'm still going to give you guys assignments, so that we can vet our mission and our vision, and then we'll know which one is actually correct, which one ticks as a mission and which one ticks as a vision. But they work hand in hand, but they are not the same thing. Okay, are we still together in
Okay,
this
ma.
class?
So
Yes, ma. Thank you, ma.
yes,
Yes,
ma.
ma.
Yes. To really understand what you are saying, ma, now is that
Okay.
mission is how to get to the goal, and
Yes.
vision is the goal, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. 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 Thank you, ma.
Okay. Okay,
Sorry,
so
I
any
wanted
other
to ask
person
a
have a
question,
question?
ma.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, ma. Yes. What's the most recent thing you learned about setting goals from your own personal experience, your personal journey, ma? Thank you. If you are willing to share
Okay.
with us.
Yeah, okay. Most recent things I've learned. Oh yeah, I've learned that hmm, should I say um I don't want to use that word. Okay, let me just simply say it. I've learned recently that in achieving goals, disappointment is a must. Did you hear what I said?
Yes, ma.
I have learned that from
Yes,
personal
ma.
experience currently that disappointment is a must. However, if you still keep your eye on the price, because of course from time to time you will fall off. That's just God's honest truth. From time to time you will fall off. From time to time you'll be discouraged, right?
Mm.
That disappointment might actually now propel me into thinking of a better solution. Because you remember, when you are setting those your goals, you can't see the future from that point. You understand? You're only making assumptions. You only think
For
that
your
that's how it's
vision.
going to. Sorry?
Sorry, did you say we are only making assumptions for our goals or for our vision?
Yes, when you are setting goals.
Okay.
But if I'm setting goals, I want to set goals for the next 1 month. And I say in the next 1 month, I want to train. Okay, no, let me not use that one. In the next 1 month, I want to gather about 100 new customers. I am assuming that I will gather 100 customers within a month or by the end of the month. It's an
Yes.
assumption. I've not seen tomorrow yet. What if tomorrow I fall sick for like 3 weeks? How will I gather the customer? Do you understand? So one of the things I learned recently is if you are going to achieve your goals, be prepared to face disappointments. Be prepared to have the nights where you will just lie down and be like, "Which kind of wahala? Who send me this kind of work?" It is a positive thing. It is not negative. By the time what happens to you after that point is what really matters. By the time you are sitting and you're thinking, which kind of error, which kind of wahala is this one? In the process, begin to think of solution. Okay, how did I make this mistake? Okay, what did I do wrongly in this particular thing and how can I fix it? That is how you will come out of it. But if you say, "Oh, I've been disappointed, I am hurt, I am heartbroken, kinikon," what happens is you will not be able to do anything if you just stay in that spot. But that disappointment really, really helped me to move across or move along the way to achieve other things, to be honest. In recent times, let me tell you guys some of the biggest disappointments. I remember mentioning to you that okay, so I have this project, I have one other project that I'm doing right across the north. and we were supposed to train over 600 people. Then we also have another set of people that we're going to train. So when the organization called us and said, you people are going to take over this contract, you're going to train so number of people, I was so excited. And they said, oh, this is the date. Now, out of excitement and my nature or my attitude towards work, immediately I booked my flight to Kano, myself and my business partner. We booked our flight to Kano just for them to send us contract documents. And we saw that the people they wanted us to attend to are 50 people. And I'm not even the person that's going to train. My staff will train, not me. And you are paying flights of over 300,000. You're going to pay hotel accommodation. And hotel is not cheap anymore for 1 week. That means that 50 people, the money they will pay you for those 50 persons is not even going to cover your flight ticket. Are you guys imagining what I'm imagining? And you have already booked the flight. Will you waste the money? Will you say, okay, cancel the flight? You can't, because your money is gone. I was so disappointed. I felt so pained. The only consolation I gave myself is I said, okay, within the next 2-3 weeks, my team will go and start another batch, just for them to call us again and say they have moved that other batch till indefinitely.
Wow.
You see the level of disappointment, right? My
Yes,
heart
ma'am.
was broken. Because first of all, we have spent over 600,000 on flight alone. Alone. Not to talk of the feeding, not to talk of hotel accommodation or local transport. So all the things that you have put your mind on are some kind 0 zeros, some kind 8 zeros will enter my account. Nothing is happening. Do you understand? So that in itself, if it's for some people, they will just feel so discouraged and they'll say, I beg, I don't do again. No, what I just decided to do was we created a framework that will ensure anytime they are ready to start their project, I don't need to waste my money to travel anywhere. Okay? Since I'm not even the one that will be training them directly, it is my staff that will do the training. I don't need to go anymore. I designed a framework, assign people. When it's time, oh yeah, you go here, you go here, you go there. Shikenan. And let me say this as a testimony. What happened is in the last 2 days, one of the other contracts we had signed with them, only them by themselves, just came and said, send us invoice. Let us pay you money.
Wow.
On their own. I didn't chase them. I didn't look for them. I just gave myself peace of mind. Because when you're losing money like that as a business owner, especially in this economy, any opportunity to make the money back will excite you. Okay, so one of the goals I had for October was that my people would have trained 600 plus persons. They would have trained another 100 and something persons, but we couldn't achieve that goal. We're only able to train about 50. So I don't know if that's able to maybe encourage you guys or to show you people that me ma they fail well, or they face and well.
Thank you very much, ma. Thank you very much, ma.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
So yes, do we have any other question? We have enough time on this call, so you people should just be asking the questions. I will be answering. There's enough time, and I'm not sure we have a lot to actually talk about when it comes to goal setting. Is there any other question, or I should continue?
Continue, ma.
All right, good. Now,
Sorry, ma.
yes.
I'm sorry, ma. I just want to say something, if you don't mind. It's not a question, actually.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, sir. Okay, ma. I was going to say that to be successful in achieving one's vision through set goals and objectives, failure is very inevitable.
Oh,
and
of
one
course.
and one must embrace it. And
Of course.
embracing it, not accepting it. In embracing it, you learn, you
Yes.
unlearn, and you relearn. And
Absolutely.
if you are able to get to that point as an entrepreneur or a business person, then you have successfully gained two important virtues and values. That is, as an entrepreneur, that is resilience and tenacity, because very needed to get to that vision. That's what I want to say.
I agree with you ultimately. I agree with you ultimately. The truth is, failure is the ingredient to success, honestly. Failure is the actual in when people tell you this thing, they are not lying. They're just telling you the truth. That's why when you asked me the question about what is one thing that has happened in recent times, I had to share the disappointment part. But I also shared that from the disappointment came what strategy. I immediately just developed and deployed another strategy that would even save me a lot of money. So that means, and with the way flights have even increased, that means I'm not planning on traveling to those locations anytime soon. People within there will just handle it. If I didn't have that disappointment, the only thing I would have been thinking of is once it comes, let me waste how many 100,000. Sometimes I spend up to ₦1 million in doing that kind of thing. I'll stay in hotel for 3 weeks. You will eat, you will fly, you. So it helped me, like she's saying, it helped me redirect my thought pattern. So failure is a strength, actually. And if you check it, the last time you failed and the time before that, the difference is much. You're not going to be failing at the same level. That means you must have learned something that either moved you forward. Okay. So each opportunity to fail is actually an opportunity to learn and to grow. Okay. So now let's talk about, yes, who is that?
Okay. My question is that how do we reconcile being realistic and with being ambitious?
Sorry? How do you
Being,
what?
how do you reconcile being realistic and being ambitious?
Okay. You can't actually reconcile them because they're not the same thing.
Okay, you said when we are setting goals that we should be realistic. You
Does it
understand?
stop you
So,
from being ambitious?
okay. Can you
Do
please
you
talk?
understand? Ambition is desire. Okay? Ambition is desire. Ambition is zeal. Ambition is tenacity. But it doesn't stop you from being realistic. In fact, it is because you are being ambitious that you will need to set realistic goals so you can actually achieve that your ambition, so that you can actually attain that height that you're looking at. Okay, now let's quickly talk about um the very special ingredient when it comes to setting goals. Okay, they will tell you, you will hear the statement, if you want to set goals, ensure your goals are smart. Okay, so in this Imole, while I'm talking about this, you're going to hear more about being realistic. Okay, so that you will understand it more. So they will say set smart goals. What are smart goals? If they say somebody is smart, what do they mean? Someone should answer. If you hear the statement, oh, this person is very smart, what does it mean? Does it mean the person is cunning, or the person is intelligent, or the person has his way, knows how to maneuver his way around people, knows how to do several things? Is that what it means?
Really
Can you hear me?
intelligent.
Okay, so let's do it one after the other. Let's raise our hands. I'm going to pick the person that will speak. Just raise your hand. Let me see your hand. Okay, good. Femi, go ahead.
All right, so it's just being smart, specific, measurable. It must be
No, no,
kind.
I'm not asking you to explain what SMART, the
Okay,
acronym,
okay.
means. I'm
All right.
saying when they say somebody is smart, what does it mean?
All right. It means the person has found a way to um make the vision less stressful and kind of easily achievable.
Okay,
Something,
okay,
yes, like let's
okay,
say stress and too much of unnecessary work has been sorted off or sieved off
mm,
the plan just to be more specific and achievable in a shorter time
okay,
frame.
okay, okay. Goodness, please give us your take. If they say somebody is smart, this guy is smart, well, oh, what does it mean? We can't hear you.
Hear me now.
Yes, yes, can hear you now. Go
Okay.
ahead.
In a simple sentence, if you say someone is smart, to me, I just feel the person knows his or her onions. That's it.
Yes, the person knows his or her onion. Okay, Dorcas, if they say someone is smart, explain.
Okay,
Wow.
to me, when they say somebody is smart, it means the
Mm,
person is intelligent, is able to do
mm,
things on a higher IQ level compared to how any other person with a normal
Would
IQ
actually do.
would actually
Okay.
solve a particular problem. So that is what it means to me.
Okay. I'm going to randomly pick two more people because I see we have a lot of hands that are up. But I'll randomly pick two more people. Don't worry, we have a lot of time to actually gist and talk. Okpeoluwa. Okpeoluwa, please go ahead. If you say someone is smart, what does it mean?
That means the person is giving a relatable idea that people
Okay.
can relate to it, and is addressing something particular to them. So they are like, this person is smart. Is actually addressing them and is relatable.
Okay, that makes sense. Nee, please go ahead.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yeah, good afternoon.
I feel when they say someone is smart, it means someone who utilized the opportunity at the right time. Probably when an opportunity comes, they utilize it.
They utilize the opportunity as it comes. Beautiful. We're taking down some of these points, so they're beautiful points. All right, Caroline.
Okay, good afternoon. I would say that when you say someone is smart, it means the person is intelligent and the person knows what he or she is doing.
Sorry, I didn't hear you. I didn't hear you well. That means the person is what?
That means the person is intelligent and the person knows what he or she is doing.
Okay, good. That means person is intelligent and person knows what he or she is doing. Beautiful. Durotimi, please. Durotimi, go ahead.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, when you say someone is smart, then it means the person is intelligent and the person is wise enough to know how to take advantage of opportunities and and do things to solve problems.
Okay, good. So I'm going to just share my screen with you guys now, so that we'll be looking at what is on the screen while we continue our conversation. Okay. Now we want to talk about. Yeah, let me see. Okay. Okay. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, good. Now, for every other person that has not spoken yet, we're going to still have that conversation with you. But let's quickly run through what being smart. When they say set smart goals, when they're talking about goals and they say set smart goals, this is what it actually means. We've all said somebody that is smart is someone that has a higher IQ or someone that sees an opportunity and takes advantage of it. But when it comes to goals, one of the first things you need to do is you need to be very specific. Very specific. There's a difference between I want to sell cars. I want to sell cars and I want to sell 50 cars in a year. There's a difference. There's a huge difference. If somebody comes to you, someone offends you, and the person comes to you and says, I'm sorry, most of us will still ask, sorry for what? Because we want to hear the person actually admit that this thing, we want to hear the person admit that this thing I did, I know what I did is wrong. So I am sorry for doing that thing. So you see where specifics come in. You need to ensure that when you are setting your goal, you need to be very specific. Oh, I want to be rich. What does being rich mean? That's just an umbrella statement. I want to do well in my business. That's not a goal. That's a desire. Okay? Or you say, I want to be selling, I want to have plenty customers. To have plenty customers is saying everybody. But it doesn't work that way. You need to be able to tie it to something. oh, I want to have 100 customers. When you say you want to have 100 customers, good. Then you can start doing mathematics. You begin to divide it with how many hours you have in a day, with how many days you want to achieve that 100 customers. That way it is easier for you to get results. Some people that are in fashion design will say, I want to be selling clothes. Yes, we know you want to be selling clothes, but which type of clothes? How many pieces of clothes do you want to be selling? That's what specific means. Specific means direct. Specific means something has to be tied to it. Use numbers. Use numbers. Use value systems. Don't just give it an umbrella statement. Remember when I was talking about setting family goals, and then you now say, oh, I want to set family goals. I want to ensure that I spend quality time with my family. Okay, that's a good thing. That's a good desire. But what type of quality time? How many hours is that quality time? Within that quality time, what will you guys be doing? Will you people sit down and be looking at each other? Some of us, when we're around our friends or around our family, all we do is to press our phone. We don't interact, we don't talk to each other. And we can stay there like that for 6 hours. Nobody's saying hi. Nobody's saying, yeah, instead, everybody's laughing, facing their phone. Will you call that quality time? No. So it has to be specific. Every type of goal you want to achieve needs to be very specific. Are we together? Are we together?
Yes, ma'am.
Good.
Yes, ma'am, we are together.
Now, for this specific talk I've mentioned now, does anyone have a question on that?
I am.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, and that means from this specific, that means there's nothing, no idea that does not have measure, that
Of course.
cannot be tied with a value. So at times, I feel maybe this particular thing cannot be tied to a particular value also. So from this, I can learn that yes, you can be specific on anything whatsoever.
Absolutely. You can be very, very specific on every aspect of your life, business or career or family, friendships, whatever. You can be specific. And you should be specific. You see that is why it will look as if you are not achieving your goal, because you didn't specify anything. So there's nothing to check, no checks and balances. It's just not working. For example, like I told you guys yesterday, I've been following the American elections closely, and I advise that everybody should, because you should have knowledge on what's going on with the world powers, right? And many of them are just saying that things have been so bad in the last 3 years. What do they call them? That Biden has not done anything good for them. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Meanwhile, in the last 3 years, they forget that there's a global inflation, there's a global pandemic that happened, and every country is currently struggling. Am I correct?
Yes, ma'am, you're correct.
So it's as if they are completely disassociated from the world. They don't know anything happening in the world. Everybody is suffering in their country. It's now that countries are trying to balance out. So whether you like it or not, if somebody does something, you won't see it immediately. Now, the funny thing is that even within their country, there and then, they have immediate results. They have more jobs that have been created. They have more things that have been done. But they don't know. They don't read. They don't check. They don't know specifics. They're assuming. And it's causing a lot of difficulty for them. So that's why it is important that you are very specific, even when you're having your normal conversation with people. That's how all these apropos gists used to come out. And they'll say, oh, this one was gossiping about this one. This one was gossiping about this one. Specify in your gist so that they know who you are talking about. So that they don't assume and go and help you start creating false narratives. Okay? So every goal you set must be specific. It must be tied to a particular value. All right? The second one is it has to be measurable. It has to be measurable. If you want to cook rice, do you just open the bag of rice, carry the entire bag and pour it inside the pot? Are you people with me?
Yes, we are
No,
with
ma,
you.
we don't.
Yeah,
You have to measure.
yes, ma, we are with you.
We are with you.
So what do you do when you want to cook rice? What's the process?
You
When you
measure
want
it.
to
You
cook
You measure
rice,
measure,
the rice.
you measure.
You
you
measure
will
the
know the
rice.
number of people who want to eat that rice before you
Thank
can now
you.
measure.
Thank you very much. Imagine we're only two that want to eat the rice. Then me, I just carry my two left leg, carry one basin, and go and turn rice inside and say I've measured rice. Am I correct by measuring it? My measurement will be very wrong.
No, no, no.
Am I correct?
Yes. Yes,
My
ma'am.
measurement will be very, very wrong. So you need to ensure that these specific goals that you have set, they are measurable. That means you must be able to align it with something else. Okay, you must be able to align it with something else that has happened before with a particular metric. Let's say, for example, I went to one day, I carried 4 cups of rice. I turned 4 cups of rice in the basin because I was just assuming that this measurement cup is okay. And at the end of the day, I ended up making plenty rice that me and the other person cannot finish for the next 2 weeks. Because I've had that experience, I know well enough that number one, I will not use that cup again. Then number two, if I get a smaller cup, I will just only use one or I use half. Okay, so setting measurable goals is always aligned to something that has happened before. That means you can look at this person and say, okay, this person has actually been able to do this. That means if I follow this model, I change this, I tweak this, I can actually achieve this particular goal. I gave you guys an instance of me, my desire to become, or my vision to become an Oprah Winfrey, right? So I can measure some of the things I do to her. I can look at it and say, okay, this is the standard, right? So when she was at this my level, what was she doing at this my level? So that means at this my level, okay, I can work on this, do this. There's something I'm tying my specific goal to. It has to be measurable. Do you people understand this? Measurable means your actual size. Calculating it as to what you need per time. Please, when setting goals, never ever make it umbrella. Never make it umbrella. Okay? Come in. Let me share this other one. Okay. You can see my screen now, ba?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
This one will help us understand.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay. This one will help us understand the SMART more better. So we're talking about measurable. See, make sure your goal is trackable. You see? So you must always tie that goal as against something. Something has happened before. Okay, I wasted 2 cups or I wasted 4 cups of rice, just cooking rice for 2 people. That means I can't use that measurement cup again. I have to either change it to quarter or change it to half. Inside 1 cup for me to boil rice, that'll be enough. See what it says? It says, do not hide behind the buzzwords like brand engagement or social influence. Always tie it as against something. Now, many of us have been seeing, how many of us have attended trade fair here? Trade fair. Has anybody attended any of this? This recent trade fair that they've been doing everywhere? They'll
Yes,
do,
ma'am.
is it?
Yes, ma'am.
What was your experience at the trade fair? Did you attend as a vendor or you attended as someone that went to buy?
No, I attended as someone that went to buy.
Okay, what was your experience from that?
Yeah, it was it was good.
Okay.
It was good. The vendors were there selling their thing. The people came to. It was quite exposing. There were people there you could network, despite the fact that you just came to buy things.
Network with.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Is there anybody on this call that has sold as a vendor in a trade fair before?
Yes, I have.
Okay, share your experience, please.
Well, we we registered. That was Lagos Leather Fair. Yeah, this
Okay.
Lagos Leather Fair. So we registered. Yeah, everybody gets their stand, and you pay for the stand. Definitely, you set up your stand. You take your products there and display for sales, and yeah, network with other brands too. We have different brands that are around. Some makes accessories, while some makes finished products, while some also sells some other things attached, let me just group them also as accessories. So we produce and make finished products, convert leathers to finished products. While when going there, we get access to people too that sells some foreign accessories we won't be able to meet due to distance and all that we don't know before. Meeting them, we can network. Some people came outside Nigeria, we network with them, we get contracts and stuff like that. So yeah, that's how we do it.
Okay, can you guys hear me? I think I lost network connection.
Yes, we can hear you, ma'am.
Okay, good. So I was asking that you as a vendor, were you able to sell out all your products that day? And did you get any feedback from people?
Okay, I don't know if I can share my.
Okay, share
Good
your,
afternoon,
go
ma.
ahead.
Okay, good afternoon, ma.
Yes, good
Yeah,
afternoon.
my name is Ojekide. So for me,
Okay.
we've been to two exhibitions at a particular event. So I think for the first time we went, my expectation was that we are going to sell out everything. So we even from the stocks that we had left, we had so I'm into fashion, so we make fashion items, menswear basically. So we had to.
Okay.
Our expectation and what we thought would be was that we even made extra items to make so that customers would have like more variety. And from our experience was that beyond just what we were making, just that first of all, people were first of all just interested in the business. They liked what we were showcasing. And because it was a fair, we decided to discount some of our items. So something you won't typically get from us. So it was so that the discounted rates
Yeah.
just because we started doing everything just because we wanted to sell on that day, forgetting that we would sell, there was a business afterwards. So a typical item which you get at a particular price, if you're coming to us directly, was discounted. So somebody bought at a discounted price, bought a particular item at a discounted price at the fair, only for him to think that was the same price of the item when the person was coming back to buy on that one again. So me having to now explain to the person that, oh, that price was because it was
Wow.
a fair, was now a bit of a struggle. So the second time we were now going there, we now made the deliberate intention not to go with so many products. What we did was that because one of the things we found out that most people wanted to make some items after the fair, so we collected numbers. So we just focused on exhibiting rather than selling. So we took items that would be so appealing to people. We didn't even put any focus that we were going to even sell anything. We just wanted to meet people, network, and get people that were interested in our product and sell to them afterwards, not just at the event in itself. Yeah, so that was the lesson for us.
Yeah.
That particular exhibition. Yeah.
Okay, can I also share mine?
That was learned. Okay, share yours. Yours will be the last one, then we'll continue. Go ahead.
Okay, so I also had the opportunity to exhibit I think the middle of this year at an event, but my expectation was really not to sell, even though I had it in mind to sell, because I made products that are sellable actually, but my aim was to actually network, create recognition for my brand, and also educate on the awareness on sustainable goods, because I make furniture from waste, waste such as
Your line is breaking. Oh. Maybe what you will do.
Can you hear me now, ma?
Okay.
Is it better, ma?
Adeola, your line is breaking, so we can't hear you very well.
Is it better right now? Is it
Yes,
better?
I can hear you actually.
Is it better
Yeah,
now?
I can hear
Adeola, can
you.
you hear me?
Okay.
I can hear you. I
It's
can
clear.
hear you, but you say you can't hear me.
We can hear Adiola.
I think it's from Tina's end.
Oh,
Yes.
I think she's off.
Yes, I guess it's from our end.
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, so like I
Go
said,
ahead. Go ahead.
I don't know where you actually got me up to, but then let me continue from saying that my main aim for that exhibition was not really to sell. It's just to create awareness, network and get that recognition from my brand. Hello.
Go on.
I'm with you. I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay,
Go ahead.
so and which I eventually did, because I make products, sustainable products. I make furnitures from waste, such as tires and the like. So most importantly is because of one of my goals that is attached to this SDG goals, and that is in creating sustainable environment. So I did a lot of education, and that was my real aim. So that at least the fact that I was able to create some awareness attracted people to my product.
Yeah.
So that was it.
Yeah. Okay, good. Now, so this has been beautiful experiences. However, there's been a recent trend with a lot of other private trade fairs that have been happening across Nigeria. And then you'll find a lot of people, just because they see that buzz, that social media buzz, that everybody is going to this trade fair, everybody's going to that trade fair, then they will go and carry money, buy plenty products. Their own mind is to go and sell. Meanwhile, like the two people that have spoken, they said their goal for attending those trade fairs is to actually network. Right? So they went there, whether they sell or they don't really sell, but their main thing is they should ensure that they collect phone numbers of at least 30 persons. But there are people that will just attend trade fair just because that social media buzz, that social media drama that is going on. I remember one lady attended one trade fair that happened some months back. She went to buy, she brought in all this what do they call it? Jean wear, skirts and trousers. I think it's for female. A lot of them, a lot of bill. Then the day they went for the trade fair, rain fell heavily. The rain that fell, they didn't sell anything. Water soaked what she bought. And then she came online. I don't know if any other person saw that video. And she was crying, and telling people to please help her buy. She was so heartbroken. She was so hurt about it. You must ensure that whatever measurement you are using to tie your business to, you are not just doing it because of the razzmatazz. You're not just doing it because it's the popular and the in thing. I have a mentee that's been doing something in recent years that I think I have a problem with, right? There's a particular, she attends trade fair everywhere, including the one they did in London. She goes everywhere to attend trade fairs. And I feel like she should spend more time building her brand. Her brand should be doing better. Her craft needs to improve. Sometimes when I see what she puts out there, I'm like, this edge is never smooth. You have not mastered this craft, but you're going everywhere to do a trade fair. Just because of that buzz feel. And when they finish the trade fair, you will now still have extra products left. You will now start asking people to help you sell. You will come online and still trying to see how you want to still sell. But the time you are using to run up and down for this whole year, she has attended every trade fair in Nigeria and outside Nigeria. Do you understand? But there are other things she can actually do. Once you attend 1, 2, you've created network, you've created awareness, leverage on it, rebuild that brand. Do you get it? So any goal you are setting, the measurement you are using for any goal, anything you are tying your goals to, it has to be for the right reasons. Don't do it because of the entertainment. Don't do it because every other person is doing it. If some people share their trade fair experiences for you, you will cry on their behalf. Some of them, in fact, there was a trade fair, I was checking something. Each vendor will pay 100,000. If you want to do 2 days, you pay 200,000. Your business is still struggling to make ends meet. You will now carry 200,000, you pay for 2 days. You will now go and borrow money to buy goods to come and sell. What if nobody buys? Or what if the quantity of things people buy is not actually enough to cover up for money you invested in the venue and money you still use to buy the products? So have actual measurements. Do not follow the crowd. Do not follow because this is how they are doing it. Check yourself. that goal that you're trying to achieve, you want to get 100 customers to buy from you every month consistently. That is fine. Now, these 100 customers you want to get, how will you know when you have gotten up to 100 customers? That's your measurement. How will you know? Is it by the number of phone calls you receive? Is it by the number of WhatsApp messages you receive? Is it by email? Is it by the number of people that walk in? Okay, if they are walking in, are you going to be taking down their numbers? Are you going to be writing down their full names, their addresses? How will you measure it? How will you know that, yes, I've actually gotten 100 people? That's what you should be thinking of. Not the social media buzz, not the general public buzz. No. One of the things I pride myself in a lot is, I remember telling you guys yesterday that if you check my social media, I don't have plenty followers. I remember when I started all this business development part, right? Remember I said I used to own an NGO. So I had one page, one other Instagram page. I was already doing over 2,000 people. And this is like how many 2016? I had already over 2,000 people. For some reason, I lost that account. Imagine that account, as I had 2,000 people. How many people do you think I would have had now if it was still the same account? It would have increased. But one thing I started doing is, instead of focusing my energy just online, I decided to actually go out and create direct engagement with people. So I have more actual, more real interaction with trainees. I have more interaction with international organizations and the different kind of organizations I work with. Okay? Because the whole social media buzz thing, it can be very distracting. While you are trying to focus on actually building your craft and you are running up and down, you'll be distracted somewhere in between. I don't know if you guys are getting my point.
Yes, ma, we are with you. We understand.
Yes, we
Okay?
are. Yes, I am.
So
I
please make
Yes, ma'am, we are getting a point.
good. Make that your
Thank
goal
you.
trackable. Don't say it is too stressful for you to collect numbers. They will not answer me. Then find a way. Find a way. I was teaching some people last week a very simple method that I designed. Create a Google form link. Each time somebody buys something from you, fill the person's information. If the person doesn't give information, you can look for something to use that you will use in remembering that particular customer. Okay, you can, like, me, I have this habit. Anything you're wearing or a particular way you behave, I can use that one as your name, right? So, for instance, I can say, Green Cap is not even on. I don't know if he's on this call. So you can say Green Cap.
He is.
He is, Abby. So create a Google form link. Put particular information. On this date, this person bought 10 bags of rice. For example, this is how much the person paid. This is where the person is coming from. Even if the customer will not give you that specific detail, but the customer will give you an umbrella information. Oh, no, I'm coming from down the street. Right down the street. So that you can track it. Then you link that Google form to a spreadsheet, link it to an Excel sheet. At the back end, every day, look at your Excel sheet. You will know how many people are coming in. But if you say you want to be counting them, when they come, you write 1, another person comes 2, another person comes 3, you might lose out information and you might also really get tired. So find a way to ensure that you are tracking what you are doing. If you say 100, find how you can get 100. Write it down, document it so you know that, it's actually 100 I got for this particular thing. Are you with me?
Yes, we are with you, ma'am.
Yes, we are with you.
All right. The next thing we said is attainable. Some people will call it attainable, some people will call it achievable. The thing about a lot of our goals is they are actually not attainable right now. There are probably things that we can achieve or we can attain in the next maybe 10 years or in the next maybe 15 years. But we think it is something we can achieve now. It's a height that we can reach now. It doesn't work that way. There are many factors to consider. So many factors. There's the economic factor. There's the government will wake up one morning and bring one policy that will shake everywhere and scatter everywhere. If somebody told you that by this time of the year, you'll be buying fuel at 1,002 or 1,005. You say it's a lie now. As at March, if they had told you that you'll be buying fuel at 1,2, you say it's a lie. You say no, highest, 700. Okay? So there are goals that are attainable. That it is real enough that you can actually do it. That's why I said set smaller goals. The example I've been giving since morning, your goal is to get 100 customers to come into your place of business every month. Abi, divide 100 by 30 days or by 20 days in the month. That means at least every day, five customers should come in. That means if you are doing marketing, you should talk to at least 20 customers every day. You see that it is achievable. But when you say 100, 100 sounds really large. All your eye will be on only 100. Meanwhile, those small 2, 3, 4, 5, if you put the number together, you will get 100. I gave them a target to ensure that we register 200 businesses in one of our locations. And they were like, my 200 is plenty. I think there were 5 or so. My 200 is plenty. How can we do 200? How can we do one thing? I said, okay, divide 200 by 5. 200 by 5 is how many? 200 by 5. Someone should do the math for me, please. 200 by 5 is how many?
That's 40.
40, Abi. So that means each of you have 30 days to get 40 people to register business. I told them it's very simple. If you have WhatsApp, each of us belong to different WhatsApp groups. There's some WhatsApp groups that you see 200 people, 200 people, 200 people. If you have 5 of that, that's 1,000. All you need is actual 40 people. But by the time you begin to drop messages on each group, maybe you talk to the group admin, you drop messages, you tell them, today you say these are the advantages. Tomorrow you have 30 days to get 40 people. And you have a group of 1,000 people, right? That group of 1,000, every day you're sending them message. You use the first 10 days, you're warming them up, telling them about the advantages of registering their businesses, formalizing their businesses. You talk to them about funding. You talk to them about grant opportunities. See, even if they don't respond to you on the group, some of them will DM you. By the time you do it consistently for 10 days, you should have a minimum of 10 people that must have reached out to you that let me do this thing. That's how to achieve those goals. You break it down into smaller components. Or you say, okay, I'm not a social media person. I don't have people on my WhatsApp. No wahala. Within your environment, there are associations. Association of tomato sellers, association of market owners, market this one. All you need to do, identify who their escorts are. Have a conversation with their escorts. Tell them that, see the kind cut I go give you now, or see the advantage. See what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to give you guys a discount. There is nobody that will hear that you want to do something good for their people, and they will say, no, don't do it. Am I correct?
Yes, you are. You are correct.
Yes, you are correct.
So you see that those goals can be broken down into smaller chunks, and that's where we miss it. It is easy for me to talk to 5, 10 people. If I want to go and meet escorts in the marketplace, yes, now one person I go follow talk first. That one will not take me to the other 5. We'll sit down and we'll discuss. Then those 5 will not make it easier for the market people to listen to me. It's simple, ripple effect. It is achievable. But when you look at it and say, 200, you see that the number sounds so big. In your head, you'll be thinking, 200, how do I want to see 200 people? Where will I see 200 people? Every day we meet over 200 people, especially if you're going out, you're stepping out of your house. You meet over 200 people. What have you done with those people you are seeing? So ensure that your goals are attainable, they're achievable. There are things you can actually do. Not things that you think you can do. Don't write things you think you can do. Write things you can actually do. Then groom yourself to be able to do those things you think you can do. You start from what you have. Don't start from what you don't have or what you think you have. Are we still in this class?
Yes,
We'll soon go on break. Are we still in this class?
Yes,
We are
ma. Yes,
still
ma.
with you, ma.
Yes, ma.
Yes,
Yes, we
yes,
are
ma,
here,
we
ma.
are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. Then,
We are
okay, see
with
what it
you.
says here. Work towards a goal that is challenging, but it should be possible. I like that word. Work towards a goal that is challenging, but it should be possible. It should be possible. For instance, I'll look at myself now and I say I want to go and do modeling next week. I want to go and model I want to do runway fashion for slim clothes next week. It's challenging, but is it possible? It's not possible. Even if I do surgery takes time for the healing to be complete. But if I say in the next 8 months, in the next 6 to 8 months, I want to become size 10. It is possible, it is challenging. That means every day I must do something to ensure that I get closer to size 10. All right? So set attainable goals. Don't try to take over the world at once. Don't try to do it at once. Do it gradually. All the people that are stealing Nigerian money, it's small they started. It's just that now their mouth is wider so they can steal it more. But they started gradually. Okay. Now to the next one, realistic. Realistic. When I started this class, I gave an example. Okay. When I started this class, I gave an example of somebody saying, I want to be Dangote in the next 2 years. And then I asked us a question. Did Dangote become himself in 2 years? No, he did not. He has spent his entire life trying to become himself. He never even reached where they go. So I want to become, some people will say, I want to become the best, the number one vendor or the number one producer of granite cake in the whole of Africa. It's not a bad thing for you to say it. However, is it realistic within that time frame? Maybe you say I want to become the number one producer of bean cake in West Africa in the next 5 years. Is it realistic? Can you actually do it? West Africa has how many countries in it? And each of those countries have how many provinces, how many states? What level of registration do you need to work across African countries? What are the licenses, the documentation? Do you have money for it? Do you have money for it? Do you have the right team? Some people will say, I want to raise 10 million naira for my business. I want to raise 10 million naira for my business in the next 6 months. How? Except you have one uncle somewhere that will just say they like you very much and they say, okay, hold the 10 million, no problem. What you have, give me back. People that will do that for you, they already know you have the capacity to return the money. If they don't think you have the capacity to return the money, they will not give you. I had an experience not so long ago. So my older sister, then anytime I want to ask my older sister to borrow me money, it's always, sis, abeg push me 10K, push me 20K. Shima, if she wants to ask me for money, then it's all those amounts. So when she knew that I started earning well, I started earning way better than what it used to be, my sister can call me and tell me, sis, how far I need 200K. Even if she knows that maybe I might not have 200K to give her. But she already knew that my capacity has increased to the level that if I have the 200K, I will give her. Right? The same thing with me. When she realized that I have the capacity to pay her any amount I ask for, sometimes I'll just jokingly ask her, see, send me 100K. I want to use her and run 1 or 2. Okay, she will just send you the money. But she knows I can pay. If it was that time when it was 10,000, I used to collect from her. If you ask her for 100K, in fact, if you ask her for 100K, she'll give you 2K. Because she believes you don't have the capacity to return that money. Are you understanding the English I'm speaking? Are we together?
Yes, ma, we are
Yes,
together.
ma. We are together. Yes, ma. We understand.
So you have to be very realistic.
Yes, ma, we are together.
Yesterday, I saw the news that Google has given Money Point $110 million. This same Money Point that you and I were looking at, they were running up and down just a few years back, looking for people to invest in their idea. Now, Google carried $110 million to give them. How much is that one in naira? So, do you think Google would have given them that money 5 years ago? No. Hell no. Google will not give them 5 years ago. But Google has looked at their track record. So it is now easy for Google to say, no, this business is worth, the business is valued at over $1 billion. So Google has looked at it and said, no, this business is worth $1 billion. Giving them $110 million is not a problem. And they carry it and they give them. Are you guys? You must be realistic. This fantasy world that we are living in is causing us a lot of heartache and a lot of stress that we don't need. Okay? So be honest with yourself. You know what you and your team are actually capable of doing. No do past yourself. Aspire to do more than what you are currently doing. But ensure that at this point, you know your capacity. What you can begin to do is to build capacity to get to the next level. But don't lie and say you're in that level at that point in time when you're not there yet, in terms of achieving goals. Okay? In terms of achieving goals. Yes. Someone wants to say something? All right. The final one is what they call time bound. Time bound. We set goals and we don't put timeline to it. We don't put timeline to it. Some of us will just say, well, I want to have plenty customer. First of all, saying I want to have plenty customer or I want to have a lot of customers is not even a goal in itself. It's just a statement, it's a desire. Tie it to time. The good thing about having these things planned and structured is that even if you don't achieve the exact 100%, but you will see that there's an improvement from where you currently are to that goal you want to achieve because you have tied it to a particular time. Because it has been tied to a particular time. You can simply say, okay, within the next 30 days, I want to lose 5 kg. You see that time is there. You have said 30 days. You want to lose 5 kg. And you decided that every day I must walk for 1 hour. I must walk from one place to the other for 1 hour every single day for the next 30 days. Trust me, at the end of the 30 days, you would have been able to lose some weight. But if you now say, okay, me, I want to lose weight, there's no timeline. You didn't put any goal around it. Nothing. Please tell me how you want to get your results or how you want to achieve your goal. Every goal you set, in fact, when you are setting goals, put table. Use table, align, put a table, put time. Put time. Do not assume that it's only when you reach that particular deadline that you have actually achieved your goal. No. As long as you are able to cross 50%, you have tried. But you have not gotten your results, but you have tried. That means you have taken a step. All you need to do is to push yourself a step further and a step further. Ensure you are scoring at least 80% on each of your goals when you are trying to achieve them in terms of time. Ensure that you achieve like 80%, at least 80%. That way, it is a lot easier. Okay? Are you people with me?
Yes.
Yes, ma. Yes, ma.
Yes.
I'm with you.
Okay. So at this point in time, I'm going to open the floor for a little bit of conversation again. So let's just have a little conversation. You can drop your comments, you can ask questions. Let's clarify one or two things. Then when we come back, when we finish that, we can go on break briefly. Then we'll come back before we conclude the class. Okay. So anybody with any question? I'm seeing some hands up. I don't know if you're ready. If you have a question or you have a comment or you want to share an experience, please go ahead.
Hi, Tina. This is Solomon. Sorry to cut in.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just dropped attendance link on the chat box, so they may want to fill. Yeah, so they can fill the attendance link if they have time.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so please, yes, while we are having conversations, you can just check our chat box. The attendance list is there. Click it and fill your information as you usually do. So Nii, you want to say something? You want to share something with us? Please go ahead. Okay, Durotimi, go ahead, please.
All right. Good afternoon, and thanks for everything. Okay, what I have is a question. Can I go ahead?
Yes,
All
please
right.
go ahead.
Okay, so I wanted to ask that considering how you've explained how we can set smart goals, now what I want to ask is how can we set goals in terms of, there are some things that there are some forces that we can't actually control ourselves, some external forces that may probably from government, stakeholders in the sector where you are in and all of those things. So how can we set reasonable goals in regards to those external factors? Like for instance, maybe government rules, or they come up with a different bill that might change the way things are being done in your sector. How can we set goals in realistic goals in consideration of those external factors?
Okay, so in the first place, when you're setting your goals, you're setting your own personal goals. First of all, in the first place, you have your own personal goals you want to achieve. It has nothing to do with government. Okay, because governments come and go. Governments will always move mad whenever they feel like they do whatever they want, right? However, you should always be able to adapt and adopt newer ways of getting things done. It doesn't change your goal. It doesn't mean you don't want to achieve that goal. It just means you will find a different way or a different approach to achieving it. Okay? For instance, if government says, I was reading yesterday that in Afghanistan now, women are not supposed to speak to a fellow woman. Not even man again. No, they have removed man own since. Their voices can't be heard outside at all. Okay? So that's a new rule that they need to find a way to live with. So if they had set certain goals, maybe they wanted to do one or two things before, now that they brought this new rule that they can't even talk to themselves, probably they can start writing letters to each other. So all they will need to do is to now adapt, come up with a newer way to survive in that environment. Because obviously, it's not that they can live. It's not that they can do anything. The only thing they can do is to kill, which eventually I know they will do. When the thing becomes too much, when they press them plenty, they will start fighting. They will react. Right? However, when you set your goals, you have already set them. But always give room to be able to change your strategies, to be able to adapt to things in case changes come up. But don't sit down from the beginning. You're already thinking of what if change come? You don't know yet. All those thoughts would distract yourself from achieving your goal. So just get on the trail, keep working towards achieving that goal. But by the end of the day, if something comes up, be able to adapt or be able to adopt newer strategies or methods to achieve your goal. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, thank you.
So is there any other person that would want to share with us, share any information with us, or ask any question? Okay. Since we don't have anybody that has any question. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, for me, it's more of a question and clarification. So
Okay.
it's about the measurable part. Like I didn't really get it. However, I asked one of my goals for this class is that I'm hoping that um I can, get accountable with the goals. So I don't know if it's something about being measurable or being accountable. Like I don't know. Can you
So
just explain better? Yeah.
yeah, being measurable or setting measurable goals is basically about being able to track whether you're achieving what you're doing or not. So, for example, let me use these people that run, that do race as a sport or as a way of life or as something. They usually have timer. They usually have timer. So probably I'm a racer. I run, right, for a living, and I want to go into a competition. The last person that won the race won by, let's say, 22 seconds. So in 22 seconds, the person went around the field completely. And me, I used to go around the field at 40 seconds. I've not gotten up to 20 or 22. But in order for me to win this person, I must get 20. I must be able to run within 20 seconds. Must be able to run around the field, right? So that means there is already a standard that has been set. The standard is 22 seconds. I am currently running at 40 seconds. But I want to ensure that I get to 22 seconds and even to 20 seconds so I can beat this person. Right? So for every day I run, I'm tracking the amount of seconds I spend going around the field. That's why you see their coach, they're always holding their timer. They're holding the timer to check, you did 5 seconds. You were 5 seconds early. You were 10 seconds late. Do you understand what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
setting measurable goals is basically being able to track that goal that you have achieved. There has to be a way of tracking it. I gave another example. I said, my goal is to have 100 customers every month, right? How do I know I have 100 customers every month? There has to be a way of tracking it. Am I recording it? Do you understand? Am I keeping notes? If somebody comes and buy, did I record that they've come to buy? Did I record the customer's name? Because I want the same 100 customers to be the same people to every month. Those same 100 customers come back. So how do I know? I need to have their information. I need to constantly record anytime they come. I need to record anything they are buying. Next month, if I'm adding new customers, I will know because the old ones I had before, I have their information. Do you understand what I'm saying now? So there has to be a way of tracking the goal that you have set. That's what measurement means. There has to be a way of tracking the goal. All right. Let me see. Okay. Dorcas, go ahead, please.
Okay, thank you very much, Ma.
Yeah.
You mentioned not to borrow money for your business. It's not advisable to borrow money for your business. Let's say in a
Did I
situation
say that? Wait, hold on. Did I say you should not borrow money for your business? Are you sure that's what I said?
No, I don't think he mentioned any of such. He said I don't
I
have
didn't say that, but I'm going to explain what I said. But let's
okay.
go ahead.
Okay, so my basic question is, what if I have like a working capital? You mentioned it yesterday, like the money to run your business for 6 months, and I have that. Then I go to maybe get a loan to maybe fuel into the business more. Is that advisable for any startup business? You think that's going to work, or it's just going to maybe run the business down?
So, see, if you have money for startup capital,
Yes, ma'am.
that's money. Use it. If you have money for working capital, use it as the startup capital to test your business. I will not advise you to go and take a loan for a business you have not tried.
Okay.
The good thing about trying things is you would see all the different parts that you did not see before. Okay, before we started this hotel business, we're just calculating. Okay, let the rooms be full. Salaries is not to this amount. Okay, fine. We can make social amount of money every month. That was the calculation. However, when we entered the business, we realized that when you're running a hotel business, number one, maintenance. Any day you can just wake up, one pipe will burst, pumping machine will spoil. You will buy new one. The new one will be working, one thing will blow. They've not finished fixing that one. Laundry machine socket will disappear. They've not finished. What they call it, microwave will burn. That was when we started discovering other things that we were not factoring in the beginning. In the beginning, we say, okay, maybe maintenance, normal now, just do generator repairs. Not knowing that you can do generator repairs and one part of the generator will tear. It will start leaking oil. As I'm talking to you guys, last week, was it last week? Yeah, last week we spent over 100,000 naira servicing our generator. The next thing, Kickstarter spoiled. We needed to buy a new one. Do you know how much that is? And there's no light. You see that testing a business would show you some of these things and you prepare adequately for it. But if you take a loan, remember your loan is already reading. Except if it is a loan that will give you, you can manipulate your payment period. But if it is all those loans that you cannot manipulate, please, that working capital you have, use it to test the business first. Start in smaller quantities. Do it small first and collect information. In fact, if you have done it like that, you will know exactly how much you want to collect as a loan. And I always tell people, when you want to apply for a loan, if the money you really need is 100,000, please apply for 250,000. So that if they give you 200,000, the 100 on top, you will keep it and start using to pay back the loan for a period of time before that 100 you really invested will start giving you results.
Okay.
Do you understand? So don't jump and go and take a loan. If you have working capital, use it to test the business. Use it, do it in the smallest capacity. Get your results, get your facts, take your pictures, record your process, and begin to go for more fund. But don't start with just going for fund. It's very risky, especially in times like your mind self will not go rest because you know, I have loan to pay. I have loan to pay. Your mind will be you'll be very restless. It's not good for a startup. Okay.
Okay. All right.
So,
Thank you very much.
and I think the statement I made about money, I can't quite remember anymore. Okay, I said people will give you money when they know you can pay back, not when you think you can pay back. They will look at your capacity, they will look at what you have been doing before they will carry money and give you. Nobody will, even if they have, they won't just carry money and give you again. It's not like they don't used to do like that anymore.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay, let me see. Okay, so I believe I've answered everybody that has a question. I've answered our questions. So we're going to go on a 30 minutes break. Okay, this is 1:13. Use the next 2 minutes, click the link, the attendance, fill your information. We'll go on break from 1:15 and then we'll come back by 1:45. That's 30 minutes break. 1:15 to 1:45. When we come back, we're now going to talk about how to actually put in that smart, how to put it into work. All right, some things you must consider to put it into work before we wrap up for today. Okay, so we have 30 minutes break. Please fill your attendance. Once it's 1:15, you can log off. Please be back by 1:45. Attendance will be taken again when we resume. So please and please and please don't disappear and run away. Oh. Finish and come back, okay? So have a wonderful rest for the next 30 minutes. By 1:45, we are back in class.
Thanks a lot, Ma.
All right, you're welcome.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you very
attendance
much,
is
ma.
there again. So you guys can find the attendance on the chat box. So it
And
will
the
still be
link you
posted
send is
again
just one,
after.
right? All the plenty links is just one, right?
Yeah, just one. I'm just
Okay.
reposting for those that probably were not online when I posted
Okay.
the first.
Okay.